The scent of old books and pipe tobacco clung to him like a second skin, a comforting aroma that belied the turmoil in Arthur's heart. He was a man of routine, a man of habit, his life a well-worn path until Alara walked into his bookstore. She was a whirlwind of sunshine and laughter, a stark contrast to the dusty shelves and quiet corners he inhabited. He was twice her age, a married man with a life settled, yet he found himself drawn to her incandescent spirit like a moth to a flame. Their stolen moments were precious, fleeting glimpses of a love that should not exist. They met in hidden corners of the city, sharing whispered conversations and stolen kisses under the cloak of twilight. He brought her books, classics he knew she would adore, filling the silences with stories of forgotten heroes and timeless romances. She, in turn, brought him a renewed sense of life, a vibrant energy that chased away the shadows of his mundane existence. Their love was a fragile bloom, nurtured in secret, threatened by the harsh realities of their lives. His wife, Clara, was a woman of quiet dignity, a woman who had grown accustomed to his predictable routine. She was unaware of the clandestine meetings, the stolen glances, the unspoken promises exchanged between Arthur and Alara. Arthur felt a terrible guilt, a gnawing weight in his chest, yet he was unable to resist the pull of Alara's warmth, her unwavering affection. He was caught in a web of deception, a tangled mess of love and regret. Their clandestine meetings continued, fueled by a desperate need for connection and affection. They walked along the beach, hand in hand, the ocean mirroring the tempest in Arthur's soul. He saw the future with Alara, a life free from the constraints of his marriage, a life filled with laughter and love. But fate, as it often does, had other plans. One crisp autumn evening, as they strolled through a park, Alara collapsed. Arthur rushed her to the hospital, his heart pounding with dread. The diagnosis was swift and brutal, a rare, aggressive illness. There was nothing the doctors could do. The weeks that followed were a blur of hushed conversations, whispered prayers, and agonizing goodbyes. Alara, ever the optimist, faced her mortality with a courage that both terrified and inspired Arthur. She held his hand, her eyes reflecting the fading sunlight as she spoke of her life, her love, her regrets. Her last breath was a soft sigh, a whisper of peace that left Arthur with a void that would never be filled. He stood by her grave, the cold earth a stark reminder of his loss. The scent of old books and pipe tobacco no longer brought comfort. Instead, it carried the bitter taste of regret and the haunting echo of what could have been. He returned to his quiet life, his heart forever bearing the scar of a love that burned bright but too briefly.